So if you watched my last video, I dropped the car off at Greg's. Greg is gonna dyno tune it or map it, and he's carried out his checks, did them yesterday, but unfortunately he's very busy and it made sense to leave the car with him as it had a few issues with cold start problems. So I've left the car up there. I'm gonna go and collect it hopefully Monday. So in the meantime, I'm going to get the RX8 in. From my last video, link here, we started making the RX8 into like a cheap track car. So basically what we've done to it so far is fit an exhaust system and a new induction kit, and my dad decided to take all of the interior out and strip it out, even though it's the middle of winter. It's not a daily drive, so it doesn't really make too much difference. He just drives it now and again. So that's where it's at now. I'll show you the inside once I get the car in and show you the current state of the car. Today we've got some Goodridge braided brake lines to fit to it. So Goodridge braided brake lines. If you're not familiar with braided brake lines or braided lines in general, and the reason why you would fit them, the standard brake hoses, which basically attach from the brake caliper to the metal pipe work that's on the car, they need to be flexible because obviously the wheels are moving up and down with the suspension, and rubber is great. It's nice and cheap and it's quite long lasting, although after a certain time it does break down and starts to split, and they will need replacing eventually on most cars. A good replacement option is obviously Goodridge braided lines. Braided brake lines are flexible, but they're also strong. So they're stronger than rubber, they don't expand. So when you're braking really hard, the rubber pipes can expand. With braided lines you don't get this. So it gives you a firmer pedal feel and a more precise or more accurate pedal feel basically. So it's definitely something on the list of things to do for first mods for a car. It gives you a great improvement in pedal feel, and so we're doing it to this one. It's not very expensive. These kits start about £70, I believe, thereabouts, for most cars. So yeah, without further ado, let's get the RX8 in and we'll crack on with this once I've shown you the interior. So, as it stands at the moment, door cards have been removed and rear seats and some of the interior trim. Still got the roof lining. Obviously the driver's seat, but there's no passenger seat at the moment. There are a pair of bucket seats. There's some rubbish in there. There are a pair of bucket seats for this with mounts, which we have at home, so they will be going in soon. But really we're going to tidy up the interior. I'll probably remove a bit more. I don't know if we're going to take the carpet out and stuff. I guess we'll have to see quite how far we're going to go with it. But being as it is pretty much going to be a track car, the idea is to put a cage in it, basically get it to full track spec without modifying the engine. So that includes coilovers and bits and pieces. So just a fun car basically. I think when the engine, probably when, not if, it's a rotary, when it dies, the plan will be to either put a turbocharged rotary engine in it, possibly like an RX7 engine, and do the swap with that, keep it rotary maybe, either that or something like a V8, 1J, 2J, I don't know, something different. But at the moment it's get the car running, get the chassis sorted, get it ready for the track, and maybe hit a few track days in it sometime over the summer would be pretty cool. So yeah, if you're interested in following the build of this RX8, I will be covering it. It's going to be a bit of a slow burner because obviously I have my drift car, which is the focus of most of my attention. but this is just something I'm kind of doing. Me and my dad are working on this together, and we're kind of just seeing how we go with it and throwing a few parts at it now and again. Keeping it road legal, so we will be driving it on the road. That's the intention. It's going to be a fun car, hopefully, and just enjoying it basically. But first of all, doing the basic mods to the braided lines. So we'll get it on the ramp and we'll get the wheels off and we'll get started with that. So let me show you what we've fitted so far. We fitted a paddle clutch because the other clutch was on the way out. The exhaust system and an intake, cold air intake. So as you can see here, on the front of the RX8 you've got two flexi hoses, rubber flexi hoses, and they join in the middle there with the braided lines from the Goodridge in the Goodridge kit. They come with one continuous length hose, which has these brackets, well, attachments, I don't know what you call them, like P-clips I guess, to hold it into that, to hold it onto that front suspension arm. So yeah, I've just cleaned off the worst of the corrosion and the dirt with wire brush, and then used some like WD-40. So hopefully they'll free off nicely, and I won't need to replace the metal brake pipes. Occasionally they get seized and then they snap off, or snap the pipe or twist the pipe. So all you can do is clean off the worst of the corrosion and the dirt with wire brush, like I said, and then use WD-40 or some sort of penetrated lubricating oil or spray. So yeah, fingers crossed they come off and then we can get the braided lines on. So installation complete, as you can see there. It just fits up like the old brake hose did, but obviously now you can see that it's got the braided one on there. Very nice. So yeah, shame the rest of the car's rusty and looks like a turd, but still we can improve it one step at a time. So hopefully they'll bleed up quite easily, because obviously you have to bleed the brakes after you've changed the brake hoses, because air gets into the system and brake fluid leaks out. So we'll bleed them up and then we'll give them a try. This is the end of the video now. Short sweet video, I know, but that's pretty much all we had to do to the RX8 today. We'll probably carry on and maybe take some more interior out and get the seats fitted in another video. Monday I'll be getting the car mapped. Hopefully everything will go smoothly and I'll have a video for you. Obviously it won't be out Monday, so Monday I'll get it filmed and it'll probably be up Tuesday at some point for that video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I know you do. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.